She'll be saying some words. Originally from Pittsburgh, Rebecca is a double major in communication and sociology. At Penn, she founded and created the Penn Wall of Rejection, a mobile community exhibit seeking to normalize the experience of rejection through the sharing of reflections on rejection. Rebecca also coordinated Write On, a creative writing mentorship program with West Philadelphia Elementary and middle school students at the Kelly Writers House. In recognition of her service to Penn and the West Philadelphia community, Rebecca is this year's recipient of the Walter Annenberg Award and Saul Feinstone Undergraduate Award. She was also awarded this Penn Sociology Department's 2016-2017 Best Undergraduate Paper Award. Rebecca spent the past 2 summers interning in television at Nickelodeon and The Daily Show, and following Penn, will be joining Ariana Huffington's team at her new startup, Thrive Global. I'll introduce Rebecca.
Like many of us, at the beginning of college, I had little idea of what to expect. Penn felt overwhelming to me, in both a good and scary way. Forming my Penn identity was a daunting challenge as I contemplated what I would study and how I would spend my time outside of classes. As my friends and I applied to clubs, auditioned for groups, tried out for sports teams, and even started writing cover letters for internships, I was aware that regardless of our backgrounds, everyone at Penn was seeking to fulfill their own version of excellence. But it became clear to me that we were all facing our own bits of rejection as well. One friend told me that she had been rejected from the coffee club, which prompted us both to burst out laughing. I realized that rejection is an experience that allows people to connect. All of us have experienced that universal punch in the gut that causes us to reconsider our actions and think about how to proceed. I mean, who hasn't been rejected from something? Last year, I discussed my observations with my favorite brainstorming buddies, my friends. Our liberal arts educations undoubtedly influenced our perspectives, giving us frameworks for interpreting and better understanding the dynamics of the Penn community. I was blown away by how their academic interests informed their thought processes. The philosophy major questioned what the common experience of being rejected says about human nature. Why do we gravitate towards things that are exclusive? The economics major looked at it as a numbers game. It's supply and demand, and the demand for internships and even spots in the coffee club is higher than the supply. A fellow communication major mentioned that her high school had a wall of rejection where students posted their college rejection letters, and that this wall allowed students to reveal themselves in inspiring ways. After much conversation, we all agreed that Penn could benefit from a similar structure. From my sociology and communication classes, I knew how powerful it could be to have individual stories speaking to a collective experience. I made it my personal mission to create the Penn Wall of Rejection, a public wall on campus where Penn students share reflections on their rejection experiences. But while the wall confesses that rejection is a normal part of life, I believe that it equally speaks to something else, the teamwork that takes place on Penn's campus. On almost every note card that hangs on the wall of rejection, contributors mention others who helped them through tough times, the best friends who threw them pity parties, and the professors who consoled them when they didn't get into their first choice grad school. One person even mentioned the librarian who could tell they were having a bad day and didn't charge them despite their overdue books. It shows that whatever rejections we experience, there are people here to pick us up, and that often, though we didn't know it at the time, everything worked out for the best. We made a new friend or ended up in an activity with people we now feel are like family. I am not an athlete, but if I am sure of one thing, it is that I am a member of a team. My team consists of all types of people. The English TA who patiently taught me how to grow as a writer, the members of my PennQuest group, the Annenberg security guards who smile as they say good morning to me every single day. We all have this kind of team. It is an invisible force that has been pushing us along for the past 4 years, helping us through successes and failures. Think of the Hill Dining Hall worker who pretended not to notice when you smuggled Cinnamon Toast Crunch back to your room. Think of Reverend Chaz Howard opening his door to you just to talk, or your advisor assuring you that you would be able to do the work of your chosen major. Think of your parents listening to you freak out about the mouse that just loved living in your pantry. While I used to associate graduation with losing this team, To my great relief, I have realized that this team will follow us wherever we go. When I look at the wall of rejection, I am reminded that the support systems we have developed at Penn will remain. It doesn't matter if you are joining the Peace Corps, going to grad school, or becoming an investment banker. The people who were there for you when you faced challenges at Penn will still be there for you when you leave Penn, just as you will be there for them. By virtue of sitting in this room, you have had an incredibly successful Penn experience, but that doesn't mean you didn't struggle along the way or you won't struggle in the future. So we cannot hesitate to ask for help. If there's one thing I have learned from being among the best and the brightest here at Penn, it is that nobody becomes the best and the brightest alone. In our next phase of life, we are bound to face rejection and failure. As J.K. Rowling said, some failure in life is inevitable. It is impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you fail by default. This time around, as we start something new, we have the comfort of knowing that our friends, professors, and other mentors are on our team as well. Now it is our opportunity to go forth with the compassion and smarts that we have been taught here. It is our turn to be on others' teams. We are incredibly privileged to be graduating with a liberal arts diploma from Penn. Especially in today's world, it is up to us to place ourselves on teams where we can contribute. So run your own race. Your Penn teammates will be right there with you.